Well, all right, we have returned, everybody. Let's go ahead and get this started back again with Quill, Demonac, and a Kiss for Luck. Hello.
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 All right, so let's get some FaceTime. 3, 2, 1. Faces, everybody in a circle, ready to go. Or square, rectangle, where are we? Sort of things. Anyway, shapes. Good. So, you guys were just talking to one of the guardsmen. And he has sort of let you know that regardless of Fendrick there, your help would be very much appreciated in Delman Ranch. If you were to go talk to Mr. Delman, it might seem like a good idea, at least in his books. See whether or not you can help out in and around the area, or at least if you have any strategies, also a good idea to go talk about it. So,
well, yeah, we'll go talk to him first.
The
I still
farmers
think
with us
I'd like to
training.
scout out the camp a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in the chat.
Okay, so the idea of scouting is indeed a thing. I will mention right now that what's going to come up right now is a bit of a mini game, if you will. So from here on out, whatever you decide to do, whether you decide to reinforce the perimeter of this place, even if you decide to leave, you can do that too. But if you decide to help out in any way, the things that you suggest will have sort of it would get you merits, like bonuses to rolls and stuff like that could happen, things that could happen in the future. You'll get bonuses to your rolls, and anything that you sort of like need, like if you need something, then it will be sort of a demerit. So if you're helping, you gain bonuses. If you need something from everybody else, then you will get demerits. Right? It'll be like the minuses. And
Widow doesn't need anything from anyone.
there you go. And if you decide to, give help in a certain regard, and then at the last moment or somewhere during whatever combat or what have you, decide that no, you want to change that, then you get it. It's double the demerit, right? So make sure whatever you do, like say for instance, to give you an idea, you say I want all capable archers on the wall to fire outside the wall. That's what we want. Just keep the line and just ranged attacks all day long, right? But what if somebody gets inside? Can you handle a battle inside, or will you need them to say, hey, no, we need some ranged attacks down here? If you say no, we need ranged attacks here, then you're going to get more demerits. Basically, you're redirecting in the middle of battle, and so things get confused, and yeah.
So you're saying that we could end up in a situation where we're giving orders to these people,
Yeah.
and if we change our order at any point in a battle because the tide of battle has changed, we're going to be getting kind of some disadvantages or demerit points or something for that?
As people reorganize, there's a moment where they're most
Yeah.
effective.
Reorganization is quite difficult. I mean,
Okay.
the only way that it would be different is if, like for instance, Mr. Delman, who is a noble and who has like leadership feats and stuff like that, he can reorganize things,
Okay.
and it doesn't count negatively against you, right? But if you try to reorganize things, then yeah, it will count against you.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, and then there's going to be rolls, from here on out.
Apparently, untrained militia suck at this. Apparently.
Well, these are just people,
Yeah,
right?
these are farmers and
Yeah.
And none of us are soldiers. We're not used to organizing.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
this is
So,
gonna be terrible.
This is going to be quite interesting, and I will, as a disclaimer to anybody watching, this is the first time I've done something like this. I followed rules for this sort of engagement, but this is the first time I've ever run anything quite like this. So hopefully it goes smoothly, and we'll see how things go. Are you guys moving into the center of the ranch there to talk to Mr. Delman?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then I'll just I'll move Govanen, and you guys, if you want, you should be able to see him. He's right here in the middle. I'll just take Govanen and put him there, and you'll know where to go.
Somewhere.
So he's the guy with the balding head
Oh, over here. Okay.
next to the well.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
Okay.
I can see the little shiny top.
Yeah. So as you come in, you approach inside, and you go by way of the other gate, the eastern gate, just to this side, because you're being escorted by the guard. That's where he was guarding. He was on the eastern gate. So you come in by that way. Tao, are you still on the building there, or did you want to move in? Or are you just thinking?
I'm not sure he can hear.
Tao, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay. I was just wondering if you were moving into
I was reading
the.
chat.
Oh, okay, right. I was just wondering if you were moving into the center to talk with
yeah, of course.
Delman and everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll just put you over there. Okay, very good. I just didn't want to move you without your permission. All right. So, yes. So Kerbin, this is the situation, right? Out in the distance, you hear the loud clanging of the blacksmith. Hard at work. Things are going on there. People are running back and forth. Kids with carrying big supply, bundles of supplies, going in and outside doors. Everybody seems to be.
How many people are here?
There's several. At a quick count, there is more than 40. Right.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people here, and that's excluding the children, right? There's a lot of children running around here as well, and they're on about different tasks. Some are sort of playing in between, but most of them have tasks.
So the people on the map, are they the only people who are going to be participating in any combat?
They are they well, it could be. It depends. You guys have decisions to make here, but specifically these are the NPCs that are you can approach and talk to and perhaps gain some amount of insight with different questions that you want to ask. And
well, we don't want the children to get hurt, so we should store them all in the well.
that sounds like a great idea. That's an amazing idea.
Just tie ropes and dangle them over. Just pile them
covered
on.
up, and they're nothing.
Very good.
This building over here, what are the walls made of? Is it
Center
fieldstone, brick, that sort of thing, or are they all wooden buildings?
Particularly
interested in the ones that don't have a thatched roof.
Yeah, well, different ones have different things. Now, none of these the main buildings there are wooden shingles, or not wooden shingles, but stone shingles, or slate, if you will. And then the thatched houses seem more like
flammable.
Yeah, well, obviously that, but in they're wooden walls, specifically on stone foundations.
Okay, but the ones with the tiles, the tiles over here, what are the walls made out of?
They're mostly wood as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Wooden walls, stone foundations, and that's basically all of these are like that. The only one that is an exception is the blacksmith. The blacksmith has more stone in its wall, but still has a thatch roof.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So just to give you an idea what's going on.
So what information does this man have? How many warriors, or how many actual soldiers and or guards or trained in some fashion men are in this place?
Right. Okay. So getting back to his name is Kerbin Delman, by the way.
Kerbin.
Yep.
Okay. Hello, Kerbin. Oh, buddy. Oh, boy.
Yep.
What you got?
You sort of catch him mid talking. He's directing. He's Mr. Director, right? He's a supervisor. He's you do that and you blah, 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 blah. He's just talking a lot and he's spinning around in circles basically. But yes, he catches sight of you. And as he's talking to somebody else, he just kind of waves you over. It's come here. So you guys walk over. Next to him is another older gentleman, not as old as he is, but he's standing next to him there, sort of decked out in full armor as well, and he's standing there, noble-like. Does anybody want to do an insight check though?
Yeah, I guess.
This is an easy insight. It's just I'm gonna say that's plenty. So, and this is actually perfect for you, Demonac. You look at him and you notice immediately. You're like, his footing's he's a little off. It looks like he's not used to being in that much armor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
not
sort of
actually
awkward.
a warrior.
Oh, yeah. He's awkward looking. But anyway, the older gentleman, Kerbin himself, he does welcome you to Kerbin Ranch, and he asks of you your purpose and whether or not if it is to help save the people.
Well, indirectly, primary goal is to kill orcs.
We're here to kill orcs.
Look, saving people is good.
Saving people is great.
Right. He looks at you very, very puzzlingly, and he asks you directly, Tao, for instance. He's like, "How exactly do you plan on wiping out an army of orcs?"
How
Usually
big is the
one at a time.
One at a time. And if you can't get them one at a time,
Look,
3 at a
If you're
time.
patient enough, it usually happens.
4 of us can probably take about 2 each at a time. So, they come
As
8
long
at
as
a
they
time.
line up, it's fine.
If they come 8 at a time, we should be okay.
how much experience do you have in killing orcs? And this is because you're talking about like you're talking about 2 at a time and 1 person and 2 and stuff like that. He looks at Eric. He's like seriously, like how much do you have? How much experience do you have in killing orcs?
We killed a couple earlier today.
Okay. There's a bit more of a this is happening. It's sort of easing the stone exterior of his face, like he's starting to get this little bit of a
And Tao
So
and
I'm
I
not
This
was
is one of
messing-
those couples that is actually quite a bit more than 2.
interesting.
But say Tao and I could
Today.
look at each other and go, a lifetime.
Mm.
A lifetime.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
more their thing.
Yeah. So you guys are sort of winning over his exterior was all about like, am I here with amateurs again, or where do I send them? Where do I put them?
And I say in Orc, we're angry. We're here to kill these SOBs because we've been haunting my life, my generations of my family. And I'm just spurring it out in
You
Orc.
say this in
And it's
Orcish?
like, done this.
Yeah.
I've done this once or twice.
Yeah. He looks
Actually,
at you-
like,
he looks at
we
you
open
with
up,
puzzle.
like, I don't know, I'm assuming Eric's pack, and, like, we just grab, like, 8 great axes,
Yeah.
throw them down.
And toss them down in the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
Yes. Let them use them. Yeah.
We've been
Yeah.
busy.
We found some of these.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
So
just
he, this is fun. All right. So
We're still warm.
Kerbin looks down at the ground. He just like sort of half mouth open, looks at the ground, sees the axes lying there, and he looks at the gentleman standing beside him, and he looks back down at the axes, and he's like, "Get those to the blacksmith." He just,
Oh,
There you
oh, hold on.
go.
These are free. Ah, that's funny.
He
never,
thinks we're donating them. Oh,
I never assume anything is free. I will always pay for services and
I'm
merchandise.
not going to extort these people or whatever, but, still.
Wait,
If you're looking, if there was talk about hiring us, if that's the relationship we're going to develop, then let's develop that relationship.
Yeah. We give good price on axes. Not that great.
Mm-hmm.
What he
Two
says
for one
out right.
special.
He's like, specifically regarding the tools, he calls them tools. They're weapons, obviously, but he calls them tools. Regarding the tools, generally most people who come in here aren't even worth the food,
Mm,
right? And
Gotta protect people. I understand.
right,
yeah.
and right now, he's looking at you all with some amount of respect, and he asks you right directly, "May I procure these tools from you for now? I could even give them back to you later if you do not accept the price I'm willing to pay you. Right now, everything has to move. I can't argue with, I can't barter right now. Don't have the time."
Yeah. Well, the thing is, we didn't come here
That's
for
right.
shelter. We came here
Exactly.
because we are hunting the orcs. And if, joining in your defense here is going to help us do that, well, then I don't see why we wouldn't. Although, again, before night falls, which is when it sounds like they get harassed a little bit more,
Yep.
I definitely still want to go out and take a closer look at the camp.
Okay.
Still from a distance,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, no, he gives you the wary eye with that going out at night when there's orcs on foot there.
Don't worry, we're quite stealthy as long as there's no accordions around.
And that you don't seem that it doesn't seem like he's doubting that. It just seems very unwise to him regardless.
I wonder how many dinner conversations I'm going to hear that one in for the next while.
Which one was that? I missed something apparently. What was it?
As long as there's no accordions around, we're quite stealthy.
Oh, right. Yes.
I just heard that in the kitchen downstairs.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. Oh God, this
Right.
is gonna
All right.
last a
I
while.
like walls good, but we maybe go out and if we catch some orcs before they get to walls, we deal with some of them, and then when too many fall back, help you defend.
So
Sound good?
you mean lay in traps then? Because we've had some people go out to lay traps, and we haven't seen them for close to 3 days now.
Yeah.
Well, Lasan may be able to set some snares and traps. That might be her sort of thing. I'm thinking a little bit more ambushy kind of trap.
Yeah.
But there are also a couple of things that come to mind. At this point, like, Tao's sort of like switching.
I should still have that bear trap somewhere. I like throwing the bear trap in my backpack.
Yes.
Yeah, you do have a bear trap. That's interesting.
Prep's okay. Prep's okay. Could probably take out orc or two with this, and then just give it like a big swing, just like in the air, just like.
You just get it as a weapon now.
Yeah, it should be
It's a
fine.
weapon.
Swing around.
That's not where I thought you were gonna go with the bear trap.
There's a certain amount of adeptness to your swing with an item that he was not prepared for.
It
Open
looks
and set
strong
when you just
either
throw it
way.
into someone's face. This is how a bear trap
Is
works.
that bear
Right?
trap? All right.
Two things that come to mind related to the defense. One, digging pits and things like that, or outside the walls, are going to be a great idea. If you can fill it with sharpened sticks, that'd be great. But the other thing is, we've seen the orcs like to use fire.
Mhm.
You need to fill absolutely every container you can ahead of
Yes.
time with water, and the non-combatants need to get ready with like a bucket brigade kind of set up from the well.
Yeah.
Because that'll be one of the most important jobs is making sure things
If
don't come back.
water is plentiful, may want to wet down thatch
Yes.
roof beforehand.
Now.
Yeah.
They should be wetting
If
down
water is
walls
not
and
in short
now.
supply. If in short supply, maybe think about it.
Yeah.
That is a very good point. So that is something I'm going to note. Yeah, he nods at you, and he sets the man standing next to him. He says, "Oh, sorry, by the way, my rudeness. This is my son,
We've met.
Perd Delman. This is Perd Delman, and
Purd.
yeah,
Good old Purd. Okay.
and Perd.
Explains why he's cranky.
Well, you haven't
No,
met
the cranky
him.
guy was the guy outside.
Yeah.
Felled or whatever.
Oh, I thought it was the Delman. One of the Delmans was
It
the
is.
cranky one.
Well, he tends to have
There's
several
multiple
sons.
sons.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Right. So yeah, no. Perd nods at you, trying to, all sort of noble, like a little bit weird though, because again, the armor, he doesn't know how to do things. But anyway, he he nods to you, and after the introduction, Kerbin tells him, says, "Go and make sure that all the kids are on, about, and preparing the thatch roofs with water. Wet them down." And he does. And so Perd takes off, and he's just basically over here talking to a group of kids, because this group of kids, you don't see them, they're not pictured, but the group of kids over here, they're sort of like just hanging out, lazing around in the sun. And
Not anymore.
Children are best described and not seen.
yeah, exactly. I like that. And right, so that's he's off doing that, and Kerbin looks at you and says, "Is there anything else that you would
So,
perhaps?"
what time of day is it? Like, how far are we from darkness falling?
Right now, it's middle of the afternoon. It's getting on into later.
That's very specific. Yes. Do we have like an hour or two, or
But before
Well,
nightfall,
it's summer.
you
Yeah,
have about
sunset,
you have about 4 hours before before nightfall, where it starts to get dark. It won't be fully dark until about 5 or 6 hours, but it starts to get dark in 4 hours.
Okay, so we have kids and well, anybody who's not non-combatants are watering down walls, thatch roofs, and then refilling water, every container possible with water. Could we get men who are capable and who are not doing something else? Obviously, I don't know what chores he's doing. Digging these pits. I like the idea of having some sort of ditch away from the walls, so that the orcs have got some sort of barrier before they're right there at the wall setting fire to things.
It's good. I'm worried that does take like a lot of manpower.
It
Like,
does.
if we had a week to prepare the dishes would be amazing. But I'm wondering how much. I don't. We can dig a dish around the whole place right now. So
back to my original question: how many combatants are in this place? How many people do we have to fight with?
So he looks at you.
adults.
He looks at you and says specifically his last count of people prepared to fight. Not that they fight well, mind you, but everybody who is prepared to fight is there's 30.
And how many of them have bows?
Actually, I have that written down.
Yeah, that's an important fact. Because those people can contribute without dying so much.
Yeah, so they've had like the farms. There's 3 farms around that were specifically good at procuring meat. So they have hunters. So at last count, there are 8 bows and
Okay.
1 crossbow. There's 8
Oh.
bows and 1 crossbow that they have in their possession, and the crossbow belongs to the man who escorted you in.
And the thing is, even if we could scramble together more bows, that's not necessarily going to help that much because the people that don't come with bows probably
Yeah.
aren't
Don't
good
have
with
to shoot
bows.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's going to
We
be
don't have-
yeah.
If we think we're getting attacked tonight, that's not a lot of hours to train people
No.
in shooting.
No.
So we have 8 long range, and Tau can be long range with the magic missile.
We have
and
9 long range, 8 bows, 1
8.
crossbow.
Okay, so
Right.
9. We add 3 more with Govanen. Do you have anybody else who do you have magic users, healers? What,
My
do you have
my
a you happen
daughters-
to have a cousin? One of your sons is a wizard. Say something.
one of my daughters actually. He says, "Where's her? She's there, right? Yeah, one of my daughters,
Someone's the healer
Drina.
thief.
Drina.
Drina?
She is a member of the Emerald Enclave, and she has been a druid for quite some time. So if by
Okay.
caster you mean
We have a druid?
that, then
Wow.
yes, that's
We have
Drina.
a
Yeah,
druid?
that fits.
that helps.
We don't need someone necessarily to cast Fireball. That might have been asking a lot.
Yeah.
One of the things that caught my attention right away is the
For
little
heal?
animal, like paddock that you've got going on here.
The animal paddock, or like the
Like
little.
the animal area.
Yep. What about it?
Oh, what I like about it is that there's a gate into it, but there's no other gate from there into the primary space. What I would kind of like to do, and I'll present this as a group, and we can figure out if that's a good idea. Is imagine we have that door, that gate open a little, and then you like drive big stakes into the ground, so it can't be easily pushed any more than that. It's just big enough that you can only get squeeze 1 orc through at a time, and then have them funnel in here. There's no other way to get into the thing, but if they can come in 1 at a time, at least a few, and then we just pepper them with arrows, or have 1 melee combatter there, and we have 1 rope over the wall so we can run away. If me and Eric, or some combination or whatever, was in there 1 orc at a time, and then at some point we go to the ropes, we get hauled over with some help, and then we get rid of the ropes or something.
So
Turn this into an extra little killing area.
What you're saying is that we should entice
Rimroll
them,
tactics.
leave the gate open, undefended on that side, and see if they take the bait.
Yeah. To a certain extent.
Apparently undefended.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's a good idea. It's just one of the ideas that, if there's an inner wall that's exactly the same as the outer wall, then maybe that's something we can do to thin the numbers.
That's a good
On the
question.
other hand,
Is
if
that inner
they
wall
just come
the
a
same as
dozen
the
of them
outer
at a time and slam the door open, then maybe it'll give them a better avenue to attack us, because the walls of the buildings might not be as strong, or I don't know what.
Right. No, the inner wall is as big as the outer wall, to answer that question. It's not currently being sharpened, though, like the other ones.
Okay.
So it
I'm
is
sorry,
it
it's
is
something
more
else.
scalable, is what it is.
Right, but it also means we can stand on there pretty
Stand
easily.
on it.
Yeah.
Okay, this building in the center, is that the barn? The main barn?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so these animals need to be moved into that. We don't need panicked animals bunging around running into us. If any, like you said, getting Eric down here, if you guys are going to be fighting in this enclosure, you don't need terrified animals messing around,
Okay.
unless you want to leave them there as
Well, they're out grazing right
distractions
now.
for the orcs coming through.
The orcs don't. We do put them up at night.
Okay.
The orcs don't come usually during the day. So we have them out to sort of graze while they have the chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kids
So
doing
there's no entrance into that barn from the enclosure directly, though, is there?
No, there is. It's a rather
door.
big 2-leaved
Okay.
door,
Yeah.
very very heavy,
All right.
and it has a
So that
locking
is another
mechanism.
actual way in.
Yeah. No, there is. The doors do open in.
Yeah.
So he does. Kerbin does say that it should be easily barricaded.
Okay.
So it's not like it's it's not 100% enclosed for Tao's plan, although it's still like another layer. They're still effectively outside if they're in that area.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, if they do go in that way.
they'll still have to get through. Okay, so we're saying this is going to be actually fixed in some way, so it's partially open, one orc wide to come in. So we can hopefully channel some through and take them out easily there. This wall we can stand on. This wall we can stand on, or the archers can if they come through that way. I mean, if they're fighting over here, then this isn't going to be a plan. This has got a great big door in it. We can put the animals in, but that can be barred. But that will be kind of, that door would probably be the way, the easiest access for them to gain.
That or climbing 10 to 12 foot non-sharpened.
Yeah.
How far are we from town?
Currently, take a look.
Scale of that.
That's where is it? A few miles there.
That's not very specific.
I'm trying to figure it out. There it is. So that's going to be about 30 miles currently.
We're 30 miles from town? Okay. So going to town to get some reinforcements is not really viable.
No.
Yeah.
It's like a day's travel.
Yeah, about 30 miles out you are currently.
Plus, even though we think they're going to attack tonight, we don't have a lot of evidence.
Yeah, no.
True.
Yeah,
It could be the same thing. They keep sending scouts. They keep, at least what he's thinking is scouts. The reports he hears from people on the wall, even though they take shots in the dark, they haven't hit anything, mind you, but they take shots in the dark all the time, and it sounds like wolves running. And according to the guard out on the east gate, that's usually a scout.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got these guys working, doing whatever, getting the gate ready, getting things sweated down, getting supplies, do blah 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 blah. Are we going to go out and head toward the camp a little bit before it gets dark and see if we can find something along the way? Find out a little bit more about what kind of, are they sitting around partying and drunk tonight, or are they getting ready for a battle? We need information.
Well, he does seem like he's a little bit timid about sending you out that direction because, again, like according to him, everybody he sends out that way, they don't usually come back. And you tend to be probably some of the best equipped people he's seen come through here for helping. But who is he to stop you? I mean, he's not going to stop you.
So I don't know. I was just thinking, like, the trenches idea, I wasn't trying to nix that. Maybe we just have them do the trenches just in front of the gates, right?
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, because the whole area would be ridiculous. It would take way too much manpower. But just in front of the two, not the animal gate, just like in front of the other two gates, we have them dig trenches in those places.
Okay.
Is that a gate over there? Okay.
Which one? Sorry, which one I'm looking at?
That ping that was.
That is a gate. That's the east gate.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's one over here.
Yeah, where the jerk ass is standing guard outside.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So we can.
And whatever you can put in front of those would, whatever you can do, right? You do what you can.
Yeah, they usually block it with bodies.
Oh, goody.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people who stand watch in and around those areas, like the nighttime watch, which are several people, which is why, like, when he tells you about the 30 capable, you don't see that many currently outside right now. And your best guess right now is that they're sleeping.
Okay.
Of course,
This big tree over here, they could use that to climb over the wall, couldn't they?
Yeah, we might need to chop that down.
Looks like, yeah.
Okay. Very good.
So we might want to use it. If we just chop that down and use that to kind of barricade on that side.
We could. The other thing we could do is you chop it down, and then, I mean, I'm sure this place is bound to have cooking oil and lamp oil and whatever. Douse the tree in that stuff ahead of time, and if they come, you can set it on fire. Just over here.
Oh,
where that's sitting, that could be a barricade right in front of the gate.
Yeah.
We don't want the fire to spread.
I was just thinking it would, if we just chopped it down and used it as a barricade, then it would be cover for them. But if it's covered in lamp oil, then it would not be good cover for them.
Yeah, they move in, use it for cover, and then.
Okay,
right,
so
that sounds exciting. Let's do that just because it sounds exciting.
It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Briar can use the fire graphic again.